Hello?
It is
What?
Thursday night. You know what that means. The Comics Pals are live. We lost our child. We've lost a child.
It's 10 o'clock. Do
Marco.
you know where your children are?
Marco. I don't see him. We're Marco list today. But the three of us should be able to carry the fort. We've got Tyler,
Hey, what's up?
Kale,
Yo, let's go.
and my beer. So you know it's
So-
gonna be a night.
Really, we're not missing him.
Exactly. I missed.
Do you think? Why
Yeah.
is he not here? Is he doing? He's not doing. He's not here because of his normal reason for not being here, is he?
What's his normal reason for not
Well,
being here?
you know. We talked about it on Palin Around on our Patreon. You can. We mentioned how he was
Oh, right. Yeah.
incapacitated once.
Right. Yes. He's not here for reasons that will probably lead to that.
You know what?
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
believe
I
so,
gotcha.
and I
Okay.
hope that for him.
Indeed. You know what I hope for us? I hope that the books that we read today are good, and I happen to know whether they're good or not. You guys don't. That's what we're going to talk about. We've got 5 books
Count 'em?
this week. Yep. 5 books. We've got Captain America, Symbol of Truth, #1. The re-debut of Sam Wilson as Captain America. What's this, the 3rd time? Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. Jonathan Hickman in there. Haven't seen him in a little while. Jurassic League, #1. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk about that. Grimm, #1. This is the book we added.
Ooh.
Thank you to Matt Murphy. I love this cover. I think it's real good. This is
Who's
by
that?
I believe this is Jenny Frison.
That's what I
Oh.
thought it was. Okay.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it looks like
Yep.
might be a Jen Bartel, but
Yeah, it says yeah.
didn't get that look. Good look at it.
And then Spawn 329.
Black and white variant.
Yeah. Well, you black, white, and then a smidge of green in the eyes of Spawn. I love that cover. I think it's so
Black,
cool.
white, and snot.
Oh boy. All right. So before we jump into the reviews here, I do want to let you guys know how you can support the show. If you are so inclined to support the show, we've got a Patreon page, patreon.com/thecomicspals. We just put out Tyler's newsletter every week. One of us puts up a newsletter. This week was Tyler's at Bat. He put out a drink recipe that you can try.
Yeah. It's not what I'm drinking today, but there is rum involved.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Rum involved is good. Sultan of Swing says this show has some manic energy today.
Yeah,
Good. I'm glad you feel that way.
Let's crank it up a notch.
Whenever I read books like Spawn, I feel manic. So that's just what it's going to be.
I feel
Hopefully
like I'm
you
going
enjoy
through
it.
a manic episode when I'm reading those. But
We also put out episode 2 of Palin Around on our Patreon. Palin Around is our show. It's our 3rd show, or 4th now, I guess. And on this one, we talk about whatever we feel about. It's just 4 pals hanging out. And on this one, we talked about video games, our favorite games, our history with video games, stuff like that. So if you want to hear that, patreon.com/thecomicspals. You can subscribe for as little as $3. So we appreciate everybody who has done so and everybody who's considering it. If you want to watch this show live, go to twitch.tv/thecomicspals and tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday. Saturdays for the main show, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. This week,
10:15.
10:15. Yeah, I want people to show up a little early, but I don't want you to be so early that you leave, or you show up and it's like 10 a.m. But it's like in European time or something like that, and then you're mad.
That's a good call. Yeah, it's 3 British Standard Time, so that would be 4 European time, whatever that is.
Something like that.
do you guys do the noon and then you go over to 1 again there, or are you like a 24-hour clock there?
It's a lot more common to be a 24-hour clock.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah.
All right, let's talk Captain America: Symbol of Truth. So this
please.
is by Tochi Onyebuchi, who is newer to at least Marvel Comics. I know that Tochi was involved with the Marvel Voices Legacy book that we reviewed a few months ago.
Oh, one of the two voices on it?
Yeah. And then the arts by R.B. Silva with letters by Joe Caramagna and colors by Jesus Aburtov. Real good looking book, I think. Enjoyed the art a lot.
It's funny. I just looked up Tochi Onyebuchi on Wikipedia, and I'm looking at the comics bibliography. Black Panther Legends. That's it. The only comic book credit. It looks like he is a novel writer mostly.
Right.
Well, I love the art. I really enjoyed the art in this one. It's very, very good. But I really enjoyed the way this unfolded.
Me too.
Yeah, this was a pretty good at bat. Like, I think that Sam Cap, whatever you want to call him, has to feel very different from Steve. I feel like there's a triumvirate of Caps because those two have to feel different from each other, but then they also have to feel different from Winter Soldier. And this book does a good job of highlighting the differences between Steve and Sam without ever referencing Steve. And that's a problem that I think other books have had whenever Sam is Captain America. The villain, so this is pretty standard. It's a pretty standard first issue. Cap and his buddy who is going by Falcon, I think, or Red Wing, whatever.
Red Wing's the Falcon. Falcon
right,
is the
yeah.
Falcon. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who I remember when he became Falcon, which was many moons ago. But they're on a mission, and it's a pretty generic mission. It feels like, a fusion of the Disney Plus mission that Sam was on with like just generic shit. So it's that, and then it's a sequence of him and Misty going to Kennedy's, which, by the way, Tyler, Kale, I know you guys have lived in New York City. You fuck with Kennedy's or what?
Never got there.
Ooh.
Never got there.
So, I've had it, but I don't remember having it.
Okay. Listen.
Is that tracks though, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this. Kennedy's is the best, worst food ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to eat at like 5 a.m, Kennedy's will do it for you. You will love it. But I would never choose it over basically anything else.
Right. Yeah. It's like White Castle for people in the Midwest.
Sure.
I guess. It's better than White Castle just because of the variety.
Sure.
Variety of what? Quality or variety of dish?
The quality's consistent, actually. Like you generally get the same, now whether you like that or not is a different matter.
Matt doxing me in the chat. That's where the Latinas were after school on Fordham Road when we went to high school. So,
gotta love Kennedy's.
He's not wrong.
Anyway,
well, I mean, can I just piggyback off the Kennedy's thing? Like,
that
felt really real. You know what I mean? Like,
it really did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it helps that I am from that area and I can smell it, when I hear it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't remember of time when Falcon was Captain America or where he was written by a black person. No, yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, I think Remender was the one who really solidified him.
Remender was the blackest person who wrote him, yeah.
I don't think liking Black Flag is enough, but
well, it's not his name.
Yeah, well, it's close enough for Marvel. But it felt genuine. Like his whole interaction with Misty on their not date felt like an actually lived in moment which was honestly refreshing for me. I liked how we kind of just jump into it. There's no real like the thing is people are accustomed to the idea of Sam Wilson as Captain America, both in comics and now in other media. So that hump to get over doesn't exist. All the prerequisite is, oh, I got my old job back. Like that's it. We're right in there, which I love that. I'm tired of is he worth it? You know, is he should he be Captain America? It just jumps right in and he feels like a likable person. He feels like an actual person, which is great. Instead of just a guy with the weight of the shield on him, you know.
He feels like Captain America. Like he doesn't feel like Captain America's best pal Falcon or Sam or whatever. Like he feels like Captain America.
He's not cosplaying.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, Onyebuchi, I'm not sure where he's from, but the fact that he was able to bring a New York flair to this book added reality to it, which I really liked. And then the very low key reference to Wakanda also added a lot of depth. First of all, if there's a place where there would be this kind of rally going on, a Wakanda based rally, it would absolutely be Harlem 125. Like that's where this is going on. And if you live in New York and you've been in the area, you've seen these kinds of rallies, so you know exactly what this is.
I was Sean. I was getting, not to interrupt you, but I was getting vibes of new what is it? The Israelites.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, okay. I mean,
The
but they felt real.
Israelites.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Totally. I felt like he was jealous or like guilty, jealous or guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And I
get guilty. Yeah. It's because he has to stand for this idealized America, but I think deep down he realizes it just doesn't really exist the way he wants it to, and it's that fight between himself, which I thought was really well done. Like because it wasn't like dragging him down, making him like depressed. Like he was dealing with it, but he was still being Sam.
Matt says, need them to break out the ATVs to get that full 125 energy. Listen, to get that full 125 energy, you need someone coming out of Popeyes with no food, no shoes, and no shirt, and potentially a needle in their arm. That's how you get the 125 energy.
Oh. Okay.
Listen, I've been there. I can say it because I've lived it. All right.
You've seen it. You weren't that person.
I've no. I've never been that person. Whoa,
right, you didn't live it.
Hate needles. Never will go out barefoot. Do I look white? So there's just a lot of depth to this book, but it's not heavy-handed. It's a hard balance to strike, and I really appreciated this book for that. I think it was very, very, very good. I will say the White Wolf character is literally Lalo from Better Call Saul, like 100%.
I don't have the reference.
You never watched Better Call Saul? I thought you watched it.
I watched like one season.
Okay.
And I never watched Breaking Bad, so like it's a blind spot for me. Okay.
All right. He's just a Spanish person who's like really dapper and smooth, but a vicious, violent killer who kills you with kindness as much as he does with, you know, his hands and weapons.
Violent.
Yeah. Kindness and violence. Yeah. All said, this was excellent.
I had a couple issues with some of the dialogue. There were bits and pieces that were a little clunky. Not unforgivably. But you know, like for me, the part where the senator sends in the Marines or whatever, and Cap and Falcon are talking to the lady. Their dialogue there felt very forced, in that sort of forced modern way. Cap says, tell him I said thank you for the backup. Would have called sooner, but And then at least the way I read it, well, we'll take it from here. It was a bit too generically modern, I guess. I don't know. It just felt clunky and weird to me.
I definitely agree. There were moments that didn't work great. Like, for example, just random Falcon's aunt or cousin or whatever being one of the people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, man.
I mean,
that's
I got a lot of aunts and cousins stuff that I don't, I've only seen in pictures. So like, you never know.
that was just a bridge too far.
I could go to
for me.
Puerto Rico, throw a rock, and I might hit a relative. So like,
That's true. That's true. And then also Falcon just flew to space. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck was that?
I don't remember that part actually.
I'm holding it up right now. There's a jammer
It's
that they needed to hit.
subspace. It's subspace. I can give him
He-
subspace.
He flew into subspace as a regular human. Well, he's not quite a regular human, but
Is he? He's not a mutant,
Okay.
right?
he's enhanced. He's not a human,
Okay.
but he I forget how he got those wings. But
He
yeah,
got
like it's
Blue
just,
Chew. Got it.
Is it his?
that's our
His
next
what? Gil?
sponsor.
His what?
Oh yeah. Does that have to do with his eyes too? Is that like?
He's got-
is that
yeah.
what his eyes look like? Are
Yeah,
those orange
yeah.
things?
Remember we read Nick Spencer's Sam Wilson cap, and there was an issue where Sam became werewolf by night, I think.
Oh, no, he became Cap Wolf.
Capwolf,
Yeah.
I think
shit.
that same experimentation that was going on is what turned this dude into Falcon, into an actual Falcon.
Oh,
But even an actual Falcon wouldn't be able to just fly in space. But anyway, nitpicks aside, I thought this was really good. And
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the next one. So
Honestly, it was my pick of the week.
I think it was mine too. I think
yeah.
it was mine too.
And I give it even more props because, like, I've never read a comic by this guy, and it looks like he hasn't done many. I couldn't tell, honestly. If you would have
Right.
told me this guy did a whole bunch of indie stuff, I would be like, sure,
Yeah.
it looks like he's been doing comics for a while. Like, I compare this to, who did Black Panther?
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates. The beginning, I can tell, like, oh, this guy's new to the medium in terms of writing it. I still think it was good, but I can tell it was a changed in his medium that I didn't, but I can notice. I didn't notice it here. It was pretty freaking solid throughout.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't jumping out to me that this was a new comic book writer. So, yeah, kudos. I thought this was very good. And also does not hurt when you have RB Silva on art. Like,
Crazy art. Crazy good. Like, you got to see it. Pull for that alone, frankly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. So this is like a mini anthology, 3 different stories, all about Moon Knight. Decent timing considering the show just ended. First story is Anubis Rex by Jonathan Hickman and Chris Bacallo. I did not like this.
same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very disappointed in this entry.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what happened in this first story?
I couldn't even tell you what I was looking at.
That was my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Was I couldn't see what was happening. Like the way it was drawn, it was so hard to parse out what was in a given panel that like I had to really look. And even sometimes when I was really looking, I couldn't tell who was there, what they were doing. It was really difficult to see. And as far as what happened, I don't know.
Me neither.
I don't.
Couldn't connect to any of the characters.
Yeah.
The guy that was Moon Knight in
It was a woman. First of all, did you know that?
look. No,
No.
Yep.
I did see that, but I couldn't. But were they? Because
think
it
she
seemed
is
like
said.
the girl was the priestess.
Mm-hmm.
I like how what you're saying rings no bells to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This first issue brought out the worst in both Chris Bacallo and Jonathan Hickman, in so much that it
Yeah.
is way too much Hickman, and it's condensed into one story where he has to introduce this world that he built in 12 pages.
Yeah.
And a new character and a new status quo for a character, which ditches any kind of already established Moon Knight lore. And the worst of Bacalo, which is it's way too much on the page. And like, I know it looks good, but because it's so condensed and because it's in black and white, where I can't get, I can't tell what is separated from what. I got lost constantly throughout this, especially the fight scenes. I couldn't tell you who was where. All I could find was this friggin' red balloon, which just made me think of the Spider-Man 2 mission. My balloon! God, I hate that sound.
A lot of it didn't seem, and I think this is something when Bacalo isn't colored, his stuff looks flat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. Way flat. Yeah. Way flat. It was a male Moon Knight. It was the person that he's with says,
"What did he tell you?
I'm a priestess of Khonshu. He is my knight."
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's probably where I got confused. I see what you mean, Cal.
Well, but I definitely had that thought that you did as well. I was like, oh, okay, it's a female. Wait a second.
It doesn't even matter. Like, this is a future.
Yeah.
It's a future Moon Knight story. This is never going to come to pass. I feel like, for 12 pages, you could have told a fun, interesting story with Moon Knight that deals with something more personal than this. This was completely abstract. And maybe there's someone out there who's like going to say, hey, someone who's going to jump in our comments and say, hey, you missed this, and that. That's cool. I got literally nothing out of this. Nothing at all. And I wanted to like it. I bought it because of Jonathan Hickman and Chris Bacalo. But I got nothing out of them. Either one.
This scares me for his creator-owned thing that's coming out. In so much that, like, Hickman unhinged without editorial oversight. I know he hired an editor for that, I believe.
What are you talking about? Three Earths, Three Moons, or whatever?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
I think he hired Stephen Wacker.
They got Steve Wacker, yeah.
That assuages my fear a bit. But when Hickman goes to Hickman, it's just like, yo. It's even crazier for when like Grant Morrison goes full Grant Morrison. It's just like I don't know what's going on.
This reminded me of East of West. It's like you can pick that book up and go, I don't know what this is.
I've read Indy Hickman and I enjoy it, but this was Indy Hickman in 12 pages in the future with Moon Knight. It was too much, and too little room, and that's never gonna work out. Hickman's not the guy to deliver a poignant message or something epic in a small amount of pages. House of X was not long, but it was built off of history of X amount of years of X-Men. And, it took time to get where it was going. So I just feel like this was a swing and a miss. Totally. The next story was So White Yet So Dark. This is by Murewa Ayodele and Duta Nakande. They're listed as storytellers, so I'm assuming that just means writer artist. I didn't care about this either.
I thought it was fine. Like I didn't hate it, but
I had fun until the end result. I thought that was pretty stupid.
You're talking about the Deadpool piece, or?
Well, that was also stupid. No, the like what Spider-Man is pestering Moon Knight for, ultimately his suit. You tell him Peter Parker can't raid Uncle Ben's suit.
Oh boy. I wouldn't want to raid his dead uncle's white suit, I mean, this felt like somebody wanted to write a Spider-Man story instead of a Moon Knight story.
Well, right. I think it's fun. Like, it's a fun pairing.
Sure.
That they can bounce off each other. They're cool stuff, for a 12-page story. Like, this is a bit more of what I expected over what we got from Hickman.
Why did we not see Mark Spector in any of these, like out of costume?
I have a theory. And my theory is that Moon Knight in the comics is convoluted. Where I don't think really anyone really knows who he is at any given point. And then when you're given the idea of anthology, I mean, Hickman didn't want to even deal with Mark Spector, The other two just wanted to be doing Moon Knight as the hero, which I think is fine. How do you delve into the psyche of Mark Spector in an anthology? I think is tricky because I feel like that's something that you got to build long term, like Jeff Lemire did or Max Bemis did recently. And maybe people just want to do a cool Batman story, but they're at Marvel, like.
I think that's the crux of the problem with these in general is that they feel very generic. The first one is irrelevant. Like I don't want to disparage it, but it's I read it. I read comics every week. I'm not new to this. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like none of us can figure it out. That's not a good thing, And the second story is very straightforward, and it's fun and cute. But I didn't get anything out of it, And when I buy anthology books, I really like it when you get, if it's going to be 3, you get that story that's kind of, personal and delves into a little bit more about the character, what they like, something heartfelt about who they are. The fun one that's not to be taken too seriously, and then the one that's a little more serious, And we've seen anthologies like that. We've seen plenty of anthologies like that. This one just didn't even have anything interesting to say about Moon Knight. Like, yeah. I don't have anything to say about the second story. So if one of you do, go ahead. But I'm about to move on.
I mean, you mentioning that there's 3 stories here. If only there were a character that had 3 main personas that they could talk about,
Right.
And maybe even split it up this way. Yeah. I thought the art for the second one was interesting. It was not something I'm used to seeing at Marvel. It was very... I guess digital. It felt very leaning into the digital art style that I think that's becoming more uncommon. I didn't hate it. Well, it was pretty good. But the story was just like, I don't think Moon Knight would be carrying around different costumes on his moon wing, first of all.
No. Yeah.
He just turns into them. Like, I don't think it's that manual. I don't know. It's never been described that way, so.
Yeah, just a contrivance for the story's sake.
Sure, yeah.
I do like some of the extra like sound effects and
sure.
Little extra bits in sort of flavor stuff. The jumps, the exclamation points, the hearts, stuff like that. I think that's a cool extra step for sound effects. Especially for people in masks.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
And the art is good. This is quality stuff, and that's one of the cool things. I guess we do see, a couple of creators here that we've not really seen before. These 2 creators, I believe, when we talked about this on the show, they're from Africa, and
okay.
Different flavor. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed it from an art perspective. But again, the story just doesn't really deliver anything interesting to me. It hinges on a Spider-Man joke that's not funny. I don't know. And then the last story, so the last story is by Mark Guggenheim and Jorge Fornes. Seeing Fornes doing Marvel stuff, pretty cool.
Almost felt weird,
Yeah. But the story, so I read it, right? And I was confused the entire time. I didn't understand what was happening. And I was really frustrated by that because I was confused by the first one. And the second one wasn't confusing. It just was hollow. So I was like, okay, what am I missing? What am I missing? Get to the end. And I realized, oh, you're supposed to read it backwards. So then I read it again backwards.
Yeah. It annoyed me too, Sean.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I read it backwards, but it's not like, oh, backwards, it was so crazy. Like there was something really deep. Backwards, it was a regular story. So you just told me to read it. I read it the way you gave it to me, and it was a waste of time. And then I read it backwards, and I got it, but it wasn't relevant story. It was just a straightforward, run of the mill. Oh, Moon Knight's a hero story.
Yeah, the backwards thing I got, I don't know what triggered it for me, but it clicked. And so when I realized that, I got through, and then I would try to sort of read, I would read it the way you read it, and then I would try to go backwards just to see if it would work. And, it was clever enough, but for me, more than it's just a generic superhero story or whatever, it doesn't quite pull it off as well as it wants to.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue works really well backwards, but not forwards.
Yeah.
And then you have to go panel by panel to go forwards through the story the other way. And it just doesn't quite hit what it wants to do.
Agreed.
It added nothing for me, which sucks too, because I think it even read in the correct way, which I can't even have to read panel by panel, which is annoying as shit. But even read in the direct way, it's just a standard Moon Knight story that also doesn't give us an ending either. The cliffhanger is he got shot by a sniper. We don't get any resolution there.
Yeah.
So was it really just to tell us a fortune cookie parable at the end? Thanks, Mark Guggenheim. I almost feel like it was a waste for Jorge Fornes too, but
agreed.
I did appreciate that. Was it Bulldozer from the Wrecking Crew was in this? I love a good Wrecking Crew appearance. Bulldozer, Thunderball, Pile Driver. Give me any of them. I'm cool with that. But he gets hit by a car, which I think wouldn't even bother him. But whatever, it's fine.
Do you consider?
If you go fast enough, it definitely he'll go over the car like
a deer. Yeah. Which actually was something I learned. I did not know that's a thing you do with deer when they're.
I don't think you
headlights.
do.
I'll let you know.
I think you do.
I might have to drive a U-Haul for a while, so if I come across one, I'll let you know.
Do you consider Titania to be a Wrecking Crew member?
I do not. No, I don't.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Pass.
Yeah.
Hate to say it.
Unless you're a starter Moon Knight fan, and even then, you're not gonna learn anything.
Nope.
If you like the look of Moon Knight, that second story will be for you, but pass.
I would. If you're a Moon Knight fan, there's an ongoing happening right now that's better than this by far.
Yeah,
the first issue blows this out of the water. And how much was this? $5? Yeah, you could do better.
I mean, the best thing about this book is that cover. Is that Alex Maleev on art?
Looks like it.
Oh, that's a tasty cover. But I would sooner point someone towards subscribe to Marvel Unlimited, read Ellis's run, read as much as the current Moon Knight run. There's so much better Moon Knight out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah.
Not to say I would in the future. There could be good stories that come out of this, but this one, wasn't it?
Well, let's talk about something that definitely is it. Let's talk about Jurassic League #1. So this is an interesting beast because
he did that on purpose.
You keep saying that. So this is by Daniel Warren Johnson, but he didn't draw it. It's Daniel Warren Johnson and Juan Guedion, who wrote it. Both of them are credited as writers, with Juan Guedion doing the art and colors by Mike Spicer with letters by Ferran Delgado. Now, I am going to say that I'm almost glad that this isn't Daniel Warren Johnson on art. I know how that sounds, but I love Daniel Warren Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Juan's style probably fits what this book is trying to do better than what Daniel Warren Johnson would have done.
I think I sniff what you're stepping in. I mean, like, I won't hate it if Daniel Warren Johnson's drawing a book. Like,
Of course.
fuck it. But like, there is the way the Jurassic League is presented. It's almost like they're mascots in costume, like the way that they're designed. You know, like, which I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point where somebody does a German suplex with a bridge, and I'm like, either Gideon did that for Daniel Warren Johnson, or that was explicitly in the script. But yeah, I mean, I like the art a lot in this.
It's real good.
Yeah,
Real good. This was awesome. It's so much fun. I mean, the premise is in the title. It's the Justice League, but as dinosaurs. And listen, if you don't love dinosaurs, I don't understand you. Like, dinosaurs are amazing. The Justice League is amazing. What's not to love? This is a perfect comic.
you a big dinosaur guy there, Sean?
I love dinosaurs,
So
dude.
pirates, no. Dinosaurs, yes.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm learning what you're into. I just wanted to kind of
Double yes on
get
dinosaurs.
a gauge
man.
there.
Jurassic Park.
You got a favorite? I'm just curious now that I can tell how much you like dinosaurs, so I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm
Can I take a guess?
person. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you did like the Spinosaurus when it showed up in Jurassic Park 3.
Yes.
Yep, but I think you're a Stegosaurus guy.
Yeah, I okay, so I've always been there's two dinosaurs I really love.
Okay.
So I really love the Stegosaurus, but I will always be a fan of the T-Rex.
Do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yep.
So I go both ways in that respect.
Ooh. Heard it here first.
Yeah.
Sean
When it comes to
goes both ways.
dinosaurs. Yep. And it's a fun and cute concept. Like, I was down on DC and Marvel before you get in the comments when they were like mech obsessed, because DC did like the DC mech thing. That was kind of corny to me. I don't even know if that came out yet, but I thought it was corny anyway when they announced it. And then Marvel has done a couple of mech based things. This though is a little more unique. I haven't seen this before. And even though it's run of the mill, there's nothing out of the ordinary about this. It's just fun. It's just fun.
I thought he was stupid. And I mean that in a loving way.
Yeah. Why not?
At one point you see spoiler, but there's a Joker raptor.
Yes.
Where he just proclaims, "My name is Jokerzard." Like, it is stupid. It's fucking dumb, and it knows it, and it's fine. It is full of weird dinosaur puns. Like, instead of Themyscira, where you can see Wonder Woman here as a Triceratops, it's Trimascara. That was good. Yeah, it knows what it is, and it's just leaning into it, which I enjoyed about it.
Totally. Yeah. Matt says mech stuff is so corny. I completely agree.
Well, this is a guy who bases his life around Evangelion. Come on.
Except, hold on. Except Gundams. Gundams are cool. I love Gundams. Have I seen Gundam the TV show? Only at like 5 a.m. on Cartoon Network. But when they used to
It's
throw
when
that
you're eating
on,
Kennedys.
well, I was a little kid, so I wasn't,
All
drunk and eating Kennedys and crying.
What about the third
nice.
part? Okay.
I might have been crying, but I wasn't getting drunk and I wasn't eating
Okay.
Kennedys.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, mechs have their moments, but certainly not DC mechs. Kale, were you into this?
I wasn't crazy about this.
Okay.
Maybe it will come together as it progresses. This was just a bit too run of the mill world buildy for me. I definitely agree that it was visually stunning. It's incredible. The art is fun. I'm not mad I read it. But the origin stuff and putting everybody in places that we know them so that we recognize who they are just felt silly to me. In the not good way. So I wasn't crazy about this.
I don't need 6 issues of this. I think I'm probably gonna get tired of this about 2 issues from now.
Yeah.
But for one shot, I was pleased to see this actually come to fruition. Because conceptually it's fun. But as a story, do I need this to be a story? Not really at all.
I'll be interested to see what story Daniel Warren Johnson is trying to tell. Johnson and the other person, Juan. But on the offset, I'm not that interested in what they've set up because it's just our superheroes, but they're dinosaurs, and I can't believe I'm mad about that.
Neither can I.
That sounds like on paper your thing, Cal.
Right? But I read it and I was bored.
Dude, look at
this. Story wise.
Look at this.
Oh, the Aquaman. Oh, it was
so my God. It's
How cute is that dolphin?
It's a panel of Aquaman. Well, it's Aquaman, but he's what is this?
He's fighting Black Mantisaur, but we never get the Aquaman name in this.
Yeah,
I don't know Man? I don't know.
I don't know what he is, but he's a cool ass dinosaur coming up from the sea, standing on the back of a crab creature with his trident, a cool dolphins, sharks. It's just beautifully colored. Oh, just phenomenal. Mike Spicer at it again. If he doesn't win some Eisner, some award, Mike Spicer is the man as far as colorists go. And I know that there's a lot of stiff competition in the colorist department, but he is amazing.
I'll keep this going.
Black Mantisaurus.
Yeah.
Joker Zard.
Yeah.
Come on.
Super Sore.
Have some fun.
For what?
For me, I think the only gripe I have with this is where is it going?
Yeah.
Even towards the end, our climax or final page reveal is a giant Giganta and a giant parasite, or no, Bizarro actually. Is this what the book is? Is it just constantly little snippets of fights where they just make more dinosaur puns? If that is what it is, I need to know by issue 2. Because I'd still read that. Honestly, I would still probably read that. But if it is trying to get to an actual story, we need to get there.
I'm telling you right now that there is about a 40% chance that I buy the second issue. But for $4, compared to what my $4 is worth across the industry, I had a really good time.
That's fair.
Had a really good time.
Better bang for your buck than the previous book you read. So,
yes.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
For sure. Well, let's talk about the listener influenced pick this week. So Matt Murphy, I should say not just listener, Patreon listener influenced pick. Matt Murphy, who is on our Patreon page, said, "Hey, I'm surprised you guys aren't reading Grimm this week." So I said, we should probably be reading Grimm this week. And we read Grimm this week.
The guy who pays us said we should read something, so I guess we got to read it.
Exactly.
Bunch of wage slaves.
Yep. So this is Grimm #1, a new debut by Boom. Stephanie Phillips This is the first or second Stephanie Phillips book that we're reading for this podcast.
What's the first?
Is Stephanie Phillips doing Batgirls?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so this is the second. With art by Flaviano, colors by Rico Renzi, letters by Tom Napolitano. You know what? I liked it.
Me too.
This is fun.
Yeah.
It's got
Solid.
a solid premise, solid plot engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is great.
It does three things well for me. It world builds almost instantaneously within like 4
Yeah.
pages. We know what the world is, what's going on. It takes something familiar, death, and the afterlife, and the idea of a Grim Reaper. Like we all know what that is. That helps that it can do that without having to explain all that. It introduces where we're going right off the bat. So there's a cliffhanger, and it's like, okay, I kind of want more. It also introduces the whole cast, really, of some really interesting character designs, which, like, as a first issue, it's a fucking good first issue, honestly. I actually really enjoyed it. It was almost my pick. RB Silva art, hard to beat, but I really
This was
enjoyed
my
it.
pick.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So there are going to be people here who don't know what the hell this is, didn't hear about it. So I want to make sure that we talk about what it is. So this is, again, a new Boom book, which now Boom number ones have that aura that Image number ones have, where you don't know if what you're reading is the next big thing. And they've done it with Something is Killing the Children. They've done it with certain other books. This is the next possible hit. And the story is pretty simple. The Grim Reaper is real. And not only is it real, there are many. And their responsibility is to basically shepherd people into the afterlife. And we follow one such Grim Reaper who is tasked with bringing this dude who died in a drunk driving accident across the River Styx and into a call center, which was my least favorite part of the book.
Just like the DMV.
Yeah, I really hated that. I don't know. It just felt like, haha, yeah, they're at the equivalent of the DMV. I'm sure that
what Beetlejuice did, but bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't love that. But that's the basic premise, and it's got a great cliffhanger. I'd rather that if you haven't read this and you're considering to pick it up, that you see it for yourself. But I would say that the cliffhanger, everything else was good. The cliffhanger ensured my $3.99 or $4.99 for Grimm 2. So if that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is.
It smells, it reeks of like, oh, I think people are gonna like this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it just feels right, if that makes sense. Like, it's super accessible. It's, got like Flaviano. I've looked at I've seen Flaviano's art before. I think Power Man Iron Fist, the one that jumps out to me. It's upgraded. I was getting shades of Ted Brandt and Rostein's Crowded.
Oh.
Interesting. I was feeling the lady who did Pretty Deadly.
Emma Rios. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a combination of the three, honestly.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's a clean and accessible art, but there is a stylization to it that I enjoyed, especially in the angles that he decides to quote unquote shoot things. Yeah, if Something is Killing the Children did well for them, I'm kind of smelling of this might as well.
I hope so. Stephanie Phillips doesn't quite have the cachet that that James Tynion did at the time, but Stephanie Phillips' star is absolutely rising, and I think that Stephanie is generating more of a buzz among maybe a younger audience, maybe an audience that has more women in it, given the types of stuff that she's done so far, and that's really great. That's really great because I think there's potentially buying power there, there's sticking power there. So hopefully, my hope is that this is the next big book. I would love to see that be the case.
Same.
I think it's so far. If I had to say, does this book have the kind of quality that will keep people on the hook from issue 1? I would say yes. We'll see how the first arc shakes out, but so far this is one of the better issue 1s that I've read all year.
Yeah, agreed.
Easy number 2 for me.
Yep.
Like at this point, I'm like, oh, not only would I get number 2, I'd probably recommend this book to people. You know, like, check this shit out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Easy pick. Or pull, rather. Another W for one Matthew Murphy. You know what? Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you're batting 100 right now.
Don't do that, Sean. Don't do that. Yes,
Listen,
he gives us money, but don't. He's got a big head enough.
When he's right, he's right. I'm not going to take anything away from
That's
the
fair.
man.
That's fair.
He
You know what?
made a good call.
In my personal text to him, I chop him down enough. Let's give him something.
There you go.
Yeah, he's making some weird spreadsheets in his spare time, but yeah, I'll tell you.
Well, wait.
Never mind. Guy likes to analyze. This guy likes to analyze his media intake. Let's just say that.
Oh my God! Wait, is he?
Right, of course.
Is it what I'm thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking, Sean.
Come on.
I'm not going to out him. It might be what you're thinking.
All right, fine, whatever.
You know, I mean, he posted his media intake analysis. He's a very analytical guy.
Mm-hmm.
One would say almost anal in a way, but that's just short for analytical, right?
Well, speaking of anal, let's talk about Spawn.
Because it's shit.
Okay.
All right, where's my button? There we go.
Rory McConville did the script and plot. Todd McFarlane. This month, he provided additional scripts.
What?
Carlo Barbary on art, Tom Orzechowski on letters, J. David Ramos on colors. Listen. I'm going to tell you right now. I thought this was great.
Oh my God! What?
I thought it was great.
Hey, you know what? I had to not make this my pick of the week.
Yep.
I really like this, actually.
Yep. This
You
was
guys
hot fire.
are fucking trolling me. I
I'm
don't
not,
believe
dog.
you at all.
I'm not.
For
you
real.
What?
You could say that about Kale, and Kale will defend himself, and I could see why you might think that. I have been on record as saying that some of the Spawn books are good, and this comic book is fucking good. I tell you.
If I wasn't no offense to the creative team on this, but if I wasn't reading it digitally, I'd probably blow my nose with it. Like, I did not like this at all. I thought it was convoluted. I thought it was trying to be a little cute with the little cross in the Reckoning guy's speech bubble. He's trying to be a little cute there, huh?
That was a great touch.
Me too.
I had more fun reading my comics tag this week than I did reading this, and both of them had religious overtones that were quite heavy.
I don't know if it was, that it caught me in the right mood. The religious stuff worked. It worked for me.
That's the most disrespectful thing I've heard in a review. It could be the rum speaking. I apologize. But, it is because of McFarlane. I think when the characters speak, I think is it Haunt? I tweeted this. There's a panel where he just screams, "I hate this." That is exactly how I felt Haunt. That was the most I ever related to a Spawn comic.
That was so funny.
You know what actually helped me get through that in a way that I think
Why
I might
should you
try
need
and
to
replicate?
be helped to get through a comic book?
Well, and what I mean by that is, like, it didn't bother me. I just, like, I tried to hear the voice,
What
and I
voice?
just did, and it was fun.
You tried to hear Todd McFarlane's voice as he decides to decide on the new action figure he wants to make, which I think
Look,
the
man,
character.
at some point, you're just gonna have to start taking this for what it is. Like, it's
can't
not
do
good,
it. I can't do it.
but if you take each individual issue as it comes,
See,
why not have
out
fun
of
with
all
it?
the Spawn books so far, I think the one I enjoyed the most was Scorched, because I felt like it was the one that was least, that was most self-aware, if that makes sense. I feel like people who write Spawn, other than Todd McFarlane, are aware of what they're doing. This is stupid. This world, kind of stupid, but let's lean into it and have fun. I don't think Todd McFarlane realizes that. I think he
didn't
thinks
write
it's
this.
actually cool. But I mean, he had did he have script in this?
But this book is the book that has the news page that everyone skips.
Oh my
So
God,
I
yeah.
assume that's what he writes, and maybe
And you-
additional like.
Wait, did you guys read that?
And you know what?
No,
I'll say it. I'm
You
gonna
read
say
it?
it.
no,
I enjoyed it.
no.
You read it and enjoyed it?
I sat and I listened. I read The Last Guy, and I went, you know who'd be a good that guy in the film? Were he not passed? Rip Torn.
Oh,
know who
R.I.P.
that
Rip,
is.
Rip.
Wow.
This book is constantly, let me reveal this character that you should know. I don't know. What
Yeah,
that
man.
is.
I don't know who any of the fuck these people are. Are you kidding me?
Redeemer.
Each
that's
issue,
the name.
every time I read an issue of Spawn, I'm lucky I recognize Spawn.
They even
But I
reveal
see that
characters in this.
I see that giant ass boot, and I'm like, oh, there's my boy.
Hold on, Tyler. What were you about to say?
I said they even revealed new characters in this.
Who?
The fucking Wizard Spawn and Benedict Arnold Spawn. They didn't even name them. Like, that's the thing. Because Spawn's
No.
like, I don't know who these guys are,
Dude, they were cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Are
man.
you kidding
But,
me?
like, maybe I just want something a little more than, these guys are cool looking. I don't know.
It's a literal battle between heaven and hell. What more could you want?
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. Not real. Not real.
What the?
Oh, but the dinosaur Batman works for you? Like,
Yes. Yes. Not only that, but
Why?
his parents were killed by a Joker dinosaur.
I can't believe we didn't
maybe
mention
it's
that.
like-
That was so funny.
I like when things lean into stupid, and I feel like Spawn is on the precipice. Lean into the stupid, but it thinks the stupid is actually cool. No, the stupid is stupid.
man, listen,
I think it's cool.
it's cool.
The coolest thing Todd McFarlane did all week was announced that he's coming out with like action figures that's just a pack of guns. Like, that's what I like, It's a
But
munitions
that's a
pack for
Spawn
$10.
book. Like, what do you?
It's not for me. It's got some cool stuff in there. It's got like one of those long ass like Roger Rabbit, kind of like those long guns, the little pistols.
And the
I don't know.
Spawn
I
figures
prefer.
hold
I
them?
would sooner buy that than I would buy a Spawn trade.
Oh, listen, I'm not buying a Spawn trade. I'm mad that I had to buy this, but I still had fun, and I'm not mad that I did.
Wait, you bought this scale?
Yeah, we had to request it in the image
Oh,
in the image thing.
That's
So I had to buy it. I'm not mad though. I'm actually pretty glad I did.
this shit was hot. It's hot. A brief overview for those of you, we keep saying how good it is, or in Tyler's case, how bad it is. What actually happens?
Please tell me.
Broad strokes. There is an angel who is like one of the warriors of Christ, and he,
Jesus warrior, one would say.
yeah, of course, and
The angels.
these characters have been granted this like armor to fight the war between heaven and hell, but this dude was imbued with way too much power, so they had to destroy him, but they couldn't destroy him, so he's called the Forsaken, and even though they tried to murder him, he still is fighting for God.
Yeah.
So the idea is that he's just out of his mind, basically. He's so much of a zealot, that he's crazy, but he's extremely powerful. And Spawn has to fight him. And that's what happens. And I don't need anything more than that. That's all I need.
There's one way that McFarlane or McConville can turn this around on me. Bring me a biblically accurate angel and introduce that into this book. Like how they look as described in the actual Bible. Like I feel like this is also like the idea of heaven versus hell by a guy who's never read the Bible before. You know, like it's the surface level.
It's the idea of heaven and hell by a guy, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, who's quoted as saying kids love chains.
Yep. No, you're 100%.
Like that's all it is
for religious people. Yeah.
Whether he's read the Bible or not, like forget that. This is that dude.
Honestly, the Bible's got cooler shit in it than this book.
What Bible did you read? I read the Bible. I didn't see nothing that cool.
Kale, listen, am I wrong or am I right?
I've got the Bible graphic novel.
Oh,
like it's still not as cool as Spawn.
I don't know, man.
Like you're
at
right.
one point, God is smashing babies onto stones, and he sends menstrual bears to attack bald children. Like
right, like you're right. But
SJW
also,
Spawn Jesus warriors.
I consider myself an SJW if it stands for Spawn Jesus Warrior. Absolutely.
Like Spawn is here.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like Jesus is great, but like
guys, I'm trying.
Jesus is great, but he's not Spawn.
Does Jesus exist in the Spawn universe?
Yes.
And he's got to, right? Like,
yeah.
No, as like an actual character is what I'm curious about.
Oh, probably.
He's just shooting nails out of his palm or something. I don't know what the Spawn version of Jesus would be. Weakness to wood.
It sounds like you nailed it, so to speak.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, nice. Sultan, I'm certainly not trying to criticize the Bible or anything like that. I'm just saying
Sean, I read the Bible. There's some pretty fucking Old Testament Bible is wild, man.
I've read it too. It's nuts. But the only point I was trying to make in relation to the Bible is just that the Bible doesn't have Spawn, as Kale
said. We're leaning into the religious aspect of Spawn more than the creators have ever had before, so I think we can move on. I don't think they cared or thought about it this much.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? It's fun. You don't need to know anything. It's Spawn. It's fun.
Yep. Agreed.
Pull.
I don't gotta answer that. I'm not in.
Trade weight, Tyler?
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll wait for the Old Testament of Spawn to come out.
They have that. It's the first compendium or whatever. Go pick it up. I'm about to get my copy.
Old Testament's got that sweet more and gaming all over it.
Oh, I need
wait. Gaiman and Moore did Spawn?
Yeah, dog. Early Spawn. Like, and we're talking like issues like Spawn. 5 and 6. Like,
maybe.
I wanna read it. I really do.
Matt recommends us doing Larson as a potential book club, which, I mean, you might have that control if you're a patron coming up. I think that's fair to say, right? Yeah.
Yes, and we'll talk about that more on Saturday. But patrons absolutely will be able to influence the book club coming here real soon. Let's talk about let's do the comics tag. So Kale had a brutal comics tag.
You fucking dodged a bullet, Sean.
I dodged it, and the screwed up thing is that I was supposed to be the target. I wasn't here. So then it was split on Tyler and Marco, but Marco's not here. So Tyler has to bear the burden of not only having read the book, but talking about it. So what's the book, and what did you think?
So I will say, the book is Binky Brown Meets the Virgin Mary. And this is by, Kale, can you tell me who it's by again?
Justin Green.
Sure.
That sounds right.
It is, indie comics in the vein of our Crumb back, where the Green is really working through some shit in this book. It is gross. It is crass. At one point, honestly, a lot of it is just a kid who's really horny all of a sudden and dealing with his horniness versus his religious upbringing. And at one point, he's got dicks for fingers. At one point, he's taking a bath with his sisters, and his dick comes out of the water, and he says, "Hey, it's a lighthouse." A lot of dicks in this one, Cal. This is the
Forgot about that.
this is a lot of penises in this book,
What?
Yeah.
which is like, all right, this is much more towards the R. Crumb side of things. At one point, he wants to fuck the nuns. Yeah, this is like this felt like I was looking at somebody's therapy session without their consent. Like it felt gross.
Interesting. Without their
yeah.
consent. That's interesting because it's his autobiography.
Sure, and I think it's a little too honest. Yeah, it's not my bag, that's for sure. But at the same time, like I read this on it was like a museum that like has a digital version you could read.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking archive.com or whatever.
Yeah, like I agree, it is of a time, and it feels like it has like the art pretty good for what it is. Like if you like that art kind of art style, it's right down the same, alleyway, I guess. Like
comics with an X.
Yeah, like a real dirty alleyway with like syringes and shit around it. Yeah. Second time that's come up this show. Not
In
the 125th
Harlem?
though. I'm thinking more like this is like an alleyway in like Chicago or something. That's what I'm feeling. Nothing against Chicago, just that kind of feel to me.
The worst place on earth.
Like more like Midwest, and then like the suburbs in the Midwest, and then goes into But this was a choice pick, Cal. Honestly, I would have liked to see Sean and Marco's reaction to this.
Yeah, I think Marco probably loved it.
Oh, I bet you Marco's still reading it for the second time.
Is it enough to have started playing dirty with the comics tag? Because that was my goal.
So your goal is to start tagging people with some fucked up shit as a punishment.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to change that.
Was it enough?
It wasn't. I don't want to say it was a punishment. It wasn't a punishment. I wouldn't say I hated it. It was an experience. Like it felt like going to a museum, if that makes sense. Like
all right.
If you had gotten me, it would have been a punishment.
Yeah,
it would have. Yeah.
All right.
At a certain page, I'm like, this guy is drawing the same kind of dick each time. I was like, I need a little dick variety. I was a little annoyed at that point. Yeah, it was definitely felt like that kind of EC Comics. Like this sounds. This felt like something that what's his face? Shit. Who's the guy that wears the bucket hat all the time with the sunglasses? And he did X-Men.
Ed Piskor.
Yeah, this sounds like something Ed Piskor would have cum stains in his copy.
All right. On that note,
I don't know how to say that any better.
Tyler now has the power to tag one of us.
Yeah, I didn't go that
For
hard. Don't
next
worry. I actually picked. I want Sean to read the next issue. It's a new issue 1 that comes out next week of the Shaolin Cowboy. I felt like Kale would have loved this. This is like I feel like right down your alley, Kale.
Yeah, I've dabbled in the Shaolin Cowboy.
But I'm not sure how Sean would like it. This is by Jeff Darrow and Dave Stewart.
Dave Stewart, okay.
It is slightly overweight Shaolin Cowboy fighting things. That's as much as I can say.
This doesn't look or sound like anything I've ever wanted at all. But
I think you'll enjoy the art. And most of the time when I've read Shaolin Cowboy, it's been more of an art thing where I'm like, ooh, I'm excited for that. Jeff Darrow is insane. So I'm curious. Yeah, story be damned. Usually it's just like, I want a little treat with art. So I'm curious to see how you like it.
all right, well, we'll find
one
out
issue.
next week.
One issue. It's also to let me know if I should read that issue. So
I appreciate that it's only one issue because that's all I was going to be able to get through anyway. So
Yeah, and as I'm reading, I'm in like 30 pages into a little kid realizing his dick is a thing. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do that to someone else. So,
thank you.
let's. But there are some
I'll keep trying.
other
Don't
polls.
worry.
Let's talk about some actual pals polls for next week. Some things that we will be wanting to pick up. Whether or not we talk about it on the show remains to be seen. Join the Patreon if you want to be first dibs at what we're pulling. I managed to let the patrons know like Monday afternoon what we were reading this week. So
Yeah.
incentive, guys.
Before we get into it, Tyler,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick, we got a highlighted message. Murphy says, Sean, it's basically Clint Eastwood cowboy movies meets Saturday morning cartoons.
I like half of that. Saturday morning cartoons were my jam.
You have a favorite, Sean?
Yes. X-Men.
Boom.
Fair. I was a big Hanna-Barbera type, so I was like, yo, the Jetsons meet the Simpsons. I mean, the Jetsons meet the Flintstones is on again. Fuck yeah, I'm watching that for the 50th time.
You want to take out comic book shows, then I would probably say that makes it a lot harder. Digimon.
Okay. I was going to throw
and,
Code Lyoko your way.
What did you just say? I don't even know what the hell that is.
You don't know Code Lyoko?
No.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Let's get in these palace bowls before I get offended. I believe Marco and Kale picked this one. Eternals number 12.
Yeah, what do you think, Marco? Oh, shit. It's not here.
Well, ask your beer bottle. I'll have the same answer.
What's it going to be? Well, nothing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first, I don't know, 2 trades of Eternals, I guess we're at now. I'm having a good time. Let's keep going. Thanos is striking back against the Eternals, I guess. So here we are.
Marco also picked Rain number 5.
Oh, he's not here. Fuck him.
He gave me his pals polls
I
without.
don't give a shit.
He forgot he wasn't going to be on the show.
You're going to sell Rain when Marco's not here.
No, I was going to go right to the next one. I was just going to say he was going to pull it.
All right, well, he can pull this. Let's get on to the next book.
I picked Savage Avengers number 1 because the team on this is stupid. This team is Daredevil, Elektra, Anti-Venom, Cloak and Dagger, Black Knight, fuck yeah, Weapon H, is it? It's the Hulk Wolverine kind of guy?
Hulkverine.
Deathlock and Conan. So it's I'm a sucker for a weird-ass Marvel team. And this is probably one of the weirder fucking teams I've seen in a while. So I will be checking this out. And I also picked Fables, number 151.
Oh,
Is back.
the return.
The Return of Fables. Here's the thing. I've never read the entirety of Fables. I've read bits and pieces here. I've probably read like maybe half dozen trades or whatever. Maybe like the issue 50 or whatever. I enjoyed it. But I'm kind of, if this is a jumping on point for a new story, it's part 1 of 12. I guess this is just a 12-issue maxi series as a return. Fuck it, I'll go for it. Fables is always kind of fun. So, Sean and Kale also had Immortal X-Men number 2.
Yes, I was not here when you guys reviewed the first one. I was able to check it out. I thought it was really, 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 really good. Really good. And that cliffhanger was something. So with this one, I'm looking forward to seeing if Kieran Gillen can keep up the momentum. The Sinister being the narrator of the book was interesting. He's unreliable. So that definitely adds an interesting wrinkle in comparison to what Gillen did in Eternals. But that could get tiresome. That could get very tiresome. So we'll see. So far, I'm on the hook.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I had fun with it. But those are our pulls for next week.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys are excited about. Always love to hear what you guys are looking forward to. On our Discord server, which you can join, there's a link in the description. We have a channel called Pals Pulls. And one of my favorite parts of the week is when those pictures start coming in that you guys send of the books that you've pulled. And if you want to take part in that, you can join our Discord. But you could also do it on social media. We love the engagement and the interaction. So, we have a great community. We'd love for anyone who wants to be a part of it to be a part of it, as long as you're a cool person. If you're a cool person and you don't spoil movies before they come out, and you're not a weird sexist or racist or any of that kind of stupid crap, you are exactly the kind of person that we want. So come hang out. Also, join our Patreon, patreon.com/thecomicspals. You can check out our newsletters over there. You can check out Palin' Around, 2 episodes out so far. Just a show where we kind of shoot the shit about whatever we feel like talking about. It's a lot of fun. Very good time.
Sean, do you mind if I throw something out there real quick?
Yeah.
For our current patrons, if you have topics and ideas you want us to just fucking shoot the shit about, why not?
We're open to it.
Feel free to go. Just not any like really weird shit. I mean, first episode's pretty fucking weird.
Well, we're open to the suggestion.
Kale is open to the weird shit.
Anyone who is paying $10 a month or more, you suggest what you want, and I'll talk about it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Whatever floats your boat. So yeah, youtube.com/thecomicspals. Subscribe to our channel for free. Like the video, share it with your friends. All that is free to do, and it helps us out a lot more than it costs you. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year so that Kale over there can do a backflip. So help us achieve that mission. If you're listening to this and you're still unsubscribed to our channel, take the plunge. Even if you're not a YouTube person, just head on over youtube.com/thecomicspals, click that subscribe button. It just helps us out a lot and it costs you nothing. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys for tuning into this very episode. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Catch us next week at twitch.tv/thecomicspals, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Catch us Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the main show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next week, take care, guys.
See you next week.